This is Alchemist Swim, and this is Alchemist Jen. Today, the whim of the day is probably a little bit less exciting than I've had the last couple days, but I have a beautiful box of wool that I got from the beautiful and amazing wool place out in Massachusetts, R.H. Lindsay and Company. I say and Company. These guys really have some really nice wool. So I'm going to take my fancy knife that I keep in the box, and it is super fancy. It is a mermaid, because everybody needs a mermaid knife, right? Hopefully that'll focus for you. It's not a very quiet knife. It's pretty big, actually. So you can see, compared to me, it's pretty big. And I'm going to use it, make a little bit of noise, to open my box here. So, some of this in the shot, maybe not. Trying also not to cut myself. So, I found myself singing at different points during my day just because I'm a little tired. So I sing to myself. So if I burst into some random singing notes and singing words, that's what's going on today. And I close in the knife very carefully. Safety first. I shouldn't talk about doing that while I'm tired, but that's what's happening. Alright, so I have 2 pounds of wool. Yes, it comes in this size box, and I like that they reuse the box as well, from some sausages, it looks like, which is great. So this one is, I'm going to butcher it, probably rembouillet. I'm going to say that completely wrong, but beautiful wool. I'm super excited. So really nice staple length. It's going to dye up really well. Wanted to have some fresh fiber for, that's so cool, fresh fiber braids to take with me when I do the Tina Turner Knits Fiber Show in Rochester on the 19th of February. So yay for fiber! And yes, I get that excited about it. So I'm planning on dyeing this on Monday, and so I will share some of that action as well too, even if it's just a nice little thing, because I'm filming these at the end of my day. This one will probably roll into the next day just because of how late I'm able to jump on the camera today. You can hear my voice. I'm sounding pretty tired, but that's okay. It's our first week of doing this. We're trying to get into, the royal we apparently. I was trying to get into the groove of making this a daily thing, so rolling with it was a big deal for me today, because I was working in my other job and I was going later and later, and I just remembered to keep calm, roll with it. And if you're a little tired tomorrow, I tell myself it's fine, it's just sleep, it's just time, and this is the time that I want to be spending, so therefore it's very important. So I'm just gonna roll with it and have fun with it, and that's all to it. So you don't have to, things like that pop up, you don't have to fret about it, spend a lot more energy on just being upset about it. Choose to be more flexible and just say, well, that's how it lines up, let's just make it work. So that's my advice of the day, fancy advice. I'm gonna play more kazoo. That sounds appealing right now when I'm tired. I don't know what I'm playing, I'm just making this up, for real. I also discovered that you can tap the end of it while you're humming, and then you can create a little bit of a rhythm to it too. That's probably really annoying. Thanks for playing along and being here with me anyway. So yesterday I was hoping that I would be able to do some sanding on my drop spindle whorls. I like that word, whorl. W-H-O-R-L. And so it's the part that helps the spinning happen for spinning the yarn. But I was tired last night, and then I had to, do this other thing, like work another job. And then I was late getting out for that, so I didn't get a chance to do the awesome sanding that I had intended to. Totally fine. Again, rolling with things, being flexible, being in the moment, and deciding, you know, what is realistic rather than, you know, getting upset about it. And, you know, does any of it, you know, really need to be done today? No. I'd like it to be. Yeah. So, you know, it'll catch up. I find that if I feel a little bit behind in one day, there might be another day where I might be able to kind of catch up or at least get to where I think I should be. So it all balances out. You know, life does that. I think sometimes we just have to be patient with it and roll with it. That's my, apparently my phrase of the day is roll with it. So I am doing that. So I wanted to talk about wool that I got, which is super awesome. I was nervous because it's a bit rainy today. And then where it would be dropped off, where I live, it could either be out in the rain, or I have a little box that I ask them, you know, delivery people, their awesomeness, to put in, so that way at least it's closed off, as the way my entryway to my place is. It can get pretty wet. So thankfully they put it in the box and it wasn't that wet. So I didn't have a bunch of wet wool, which is brilliant and I'm super excited about. I might do some spinning because that sounds appealing. I feel like I should do something more during my video here today. Maybe I can spin a little bit better than I did yesterday. So I'm going to be dyeing a bunch of wool. It'll give me enough time to let it dry. So I'll be ready to take it with me the following weekend. Which is really cool that I need to share it with people. Yeah. And if you happen to be watching this and you're interested in getting some of this delicious wool, which I will be sharing with you, some of the great colors that I'll be doing, probably do some gradients because those are really fun. I like bats that you can, I'm saying this, but it's wool top. I like things that to be spun. Like this one, for instance, I did more chunky, but if you do it in a more of a gradient, you can spin it in that gradient. And it's really fascinating to see how that plays out and then that yarn develops. The other thing I want to play with during my dyeing session or sessions for next week that I'm planning is to, I got a knitting machine. So I got the Addy Express king size, so the bigger circular one that you can do kind of like hats. You can also do like tubes of things, so I want to make some tubes and then dye those tubes as well, so I can do some gradients that way. But I also really want to make some like hats that I can dye right there, because I was thinking that, dye right there by saying dye here, and dye it as a hat, so that way it will hold whatever dye is in that area. So it's gonna have more of a maybe a tie-dyed look to it, which will be really cool. So I'm hoping to be able to share that with you guys next week, and probably do some hat knitting, to be honest, with you guys. So that's my current plan. Again, making plans makes life interesting. Sometimes I'll set an idea ahead and then kind of be like, well, if I do it, it's okay. And if not, maybe something else will pop up and work out just fine or be more important in the moment. So being flexible, but having an idea of what I want to achieve, especially on days where I'm not working my other job, and also maybe as I'm prepping for making sure I have the right stuff for a show, puts a little more time on pressure on the time. I can speak, and that way I just want to make sure that I'm all set up. I also have on my docket getting stuff ready for stocking a couple of shops, so I need to do some follow-up there and give those people some timelines as well too. So it's really fun around making everything work and trying to set a realistic schedule and communicate, which is fun. I'm excited about it. I like the balance that I need to achieve to run my own business and to be an artist and to do this. This is going to be really exciting to keep going, especially after doing the show all day on the 19th and then coming back and having a different perspective on that. So I'm excited to be able to share things with you, and maybe I'll find some cool things that I can bring home and say, hey, I got this cool stuff, and share that with you as well, because there's some other fiber artists there, some people I haven't met, and that's really fun too, because then I get to meet people and talk with them and get to know my fiber community in the state. So as I go to more and more shows, I'm able to connect with people. I'm using this as a pointy thing because that's what drop spindles are for. So I mean, when I think about my timeline creatively in this part of the thing, you know, I kind of started my website before I had very much stuff at all. I had some yarn, and that was December of the year before last, but then I really didn't start focusing on my business until, say, June. So that's kind of where I really count it as more of me starting to be more creative, starting to focus on it being important. So then I did, I had a street fair that I went out to Nyack to do, and that really gave me a foundation of, okay, this is a real thing, you know, I need displays, I need more things to showcase, and that's when I started making tapestries, which is really fun. So dyeing things. Behind me I have some scarves, so they are flannel, they're lined with gray as well. I sew them, print them, dye them, and it's really quite fun. And so I'm up for any challenge. I like different things. I like following a trail, an idea through completion. I love process. So even for just looking at how I set up my day so that I can make sure that I've got everything I need for filming each day too is all process and structure, and it's pretty cool stuff. My brain really likes it. So I think that's all I really want to talk about for today. I'm excited to keep going. I'm here. I showed up today. You showed up today. Yay! This is good. We got this. So let's see where the whim takes us in another day. You guys have been amazing. I can't wait to see you again, and have a good one. Toodaloo.